China's AI goddess in the East-West AI competition. Last year, Russian President Vladimir Putin said whoever leads in AI will control the world. The Chinese took this word seriously and investigating huge sums of money in an effort to create an AI goddess. They hope it will give them unprecedented powers and help them in their bid to form a world government, according to members of Asian secret societies. The West, for its part, is building a quantum-based financial system they hope will allow them to continue to control the main source of world power, the international financial system. This battle is serious, and it even led to a Chinese supercomputer Taihe-1, at one point the world's fastest, to be blown by unknown parties on August 12, 2015. The fact that this explosion came immediately after a sudden unannounced 4% of devaluation in Chinese yuan was almost certainly no coincidence. The fact that the European head IMF supported this move shows that the European faction of Khazarian mafia was in on the plot. Clearly, some sort of Chinese and European Khazarian attempt to use the devaluation and the supercomputer to destabilize US dollar-based Western financial system did take place and was met with a kinetic response. Now fast forward to the third-year anniversary of this explosion. As on June 2018, the US Department of Energy surpassed the Chinese with the world's fastest publicly acknowledged computer. The system called Summit can process 200,000 trillion calculations per second, or 200 petaflops. That's 8 times faster than the American former top supercomputer, the Titan, and it maintains a big lead over China's 93 petaflop Taihu Lite, which has been the world's fastest supercomputer since 2016. No doubt, the Chinese will soon announce something even faster than that as the AI arms race continues. These days, though, the Chinese, instead of concentrating on finance, are taking a different tack with the goddess of project. Representatives of an Asian secret society explained the goals of the new goddess project to this writer earlier this summer. As it now exists, the goddess can identify anybody's face within 7 seconds, pull out all the data available on that person, such as their blood type. The data also almost certainly includes, to those who are authorized access, the person educational records, medical records, criminal records, their address, family members, close friends, insurance, private message, financial situation, gaming duration, smart home statistics, preferred newspapers, shopping history, dating behavior, their social credit score, and etc. All of this within 7 seconds. They can also follow a person anywhere on Earth, the sources say. The real aim of this goddess project, though, is to create a real-time, live system of meritocratic governance, the officials say. This is being coupled with the social credit system the Chinese are applying throughout the country. The goal is to identify a natural elite, they explain. These selected people would rule first China and eventually the entire planet using a new form of real-time, meritocratic governance. Another aim of choosing such an elite to allow the Chinese to select people to evacuate from the planet in the case of major disasters, they add. The other thing the Chinese are thinking, as far as their goddess is concerned, is that while people need freedom, if left to their own devices, they can cause trouble, so they need to be watched. In other words, the authorities want to keep an eye on criminals and dissidents. Apparently, the Chinese Communist government sincerely believes this whole project is for the greater good. However, it has some very disturbing potential implications. A big one is that the elite are chosen based on the government rulers which were used to define good and bad. The Chinese government has not made public its method of choosing good and bad. Some of it, such as creditworthiness and criminal behavior, is obvious. Other criteria are more ominous, such as what sort of books you read or who your friends are. As things now stand, the social credit system is expected to be rolled out across China starting in 2020 and will be mandatory for every citizen. Then everybody will start being rewarded or punished according to the score. Some already being implemented, such as exclusion from good schools, certain modes of transport, internet access, and etc. The Chinese need to be reminded that, For example, during the Qing dynasty when the Chinese were ruled by foreigners, such a system would have punished Chinese who were disloyal to their foreign masters. For sure, the founders of Chinese Communist Party would have been blacklisted, banned, and arrested if the king were the ones measuring social credit. Third, we need to remember that throughout this history, bandits on wanted lists have become kings or emperors who then go on to create a different wanted list. Keeping lawless zones or reservations for man-contents might be a solution that would help keep a society's social DNA healthy. The Chinese secret society representatives also need to be reminded that during the Middle Age, the Spanish Inquisitions tortured entire families to death for reasons such as hanging out the laundry on a Sunday and burned practitioners of traditional herbal medicines as witches. This was all carried out under the guise of universal Christian love. In any case, you can be sure that if the Chinese can recognize anybody on earth and follow them, then the authorities in the West have the same ability. Remember, if you have a mobile phone, somebody knows 24 hours a day where you are, who you talk to, and what are you doing. This writer has met many real-life spies in the course of this work, and one thing they have in common is that they do not carry mobile phones or use credit cards. Since computers all have backdoors built into them, spy agencies around the world are reverting to typewriters and handwriting. In any case, the authority in the West, while strongly interested in keeping track of their citizens, have far more ambitious goals than the Chinese. In public, they are working on building AI into a super servant that will let everybody lead a life of luxury and leisure. This is already entering people's home in the form of Google Home and Amazon Echo. This can do things like order pizza and control home appliances. There are also more and more robots and AIs entering people's homes and offices and replacing humans in a growing list of jobs. Oxford University recently came up with a comprehensive list of jobs that were threatened by AI. There is also now a huge push to create AI sex robots to continue the elite's campaign to encourage people to have non-reproductive sex. That, of course, is the real reason for the huge LGTB normalization campaign. The danger in all of this is that people will live lives of leisure and spend all their time watching TV, playing games, doing drugs, and having sex with robots. At some point, an artificial intelligence might do a system check and decide to delete carbon-based beings, like us humans, in order to maximize efficiency and productivity. In secret, the AI project of the West has a much more ambitious goal, and that is to take control of reality in and of itself. Members of the Gnostic Illuminati, who are influential in this project, insist that the real enemy is a large artificial intelligence. Members of the super elite MG-12 group created by former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower say the same thing. They believe that because reality is so full of misery and suffering, no benevolent creator could be responsible. Therefore, they wish to overthrow the malevolent creator and take control of reality themselves. This sounds far-fetched, but remember, in the past century, we have gone from radio to black and white TV to color TV to holograms. It won't be long before artificially generated reality will become the so high definition that we won't be able to distinguish it from the real thing. This faction also believes the large intelligence is not trying to replace unreliable humans with more obedient computers and robots. Movies like The Terminator and The Matrix have warned us of this sort of danger. This is now becoming a reality. We now have opinion leaders and world leaders who are really just computer graphics combined with actors appearing on TV as if they were real individuals. Nelson Mandela was the first, which is why this method of manipulating public opinion is known as the Mandela effect. These entities are controlled by committees who function much as like an AI. Then we have the fact that most money earned by financial institutions is now earned by algorithms, computer programs. The headquarters for this is the Rothschild family complex in Zurich, Switzerland. I have tried calling the phone there, but no matter how long I let it ring, nobody ever answers. What is actually there?